Yeah.
How did you find the race? How was it?
Jump straight into it.
Well, like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, look, I really enjoyed it. I was a bit upset. No, I wasn't upset. I was nah. I found it really good. I was hoping Norris would have got his first win. That would have been so cool.
I know.
But
I think,
and it totally deserved after the season he's had. Yeah.
I think the opening laps, I was kind of excited because, like, either if it had gone the way it was going at that moment, first or second, I wouldn't have cared. Like, it could have been Sainz or Norris that won. I wouldn't have cared. Like,
100%. Yeah, me too. Yeah, even Russell.
Exactly. Like, it was like a top three that I didn't even care who won. Just someone
100%.
wins.
Look, don't get me wrong. As I told you, I think well deserved 100-win race, like a good race to win. Like Hamilton has had some races, in my opinion, which are just like, like France 2018 or something, or France 2019 just walks the park. But and obviously hard work. But yeah, I feel like this was a good way for him to get his 100th win. That's being said, I feel bad for Norris, but he'll come back. It's fine. It's all good.
Yeah,
He should have boxed.
Yeah,
but it's, again, so hard.
Yeah, like I saw a few like interviews with like Lando and Hamilton together. Antonio says hi. And
did your brother watch the race?
No, he was playing games.
Okay. Tell him to watch the race next time.
No, he's interested in where Lando comes, and that's about it.
Yeah. I've got. I know a lot of people like that now who are like gaming, and they love Lando, and like because Lando's big into gaming. That's taken off. Sorry to cut you off, by the way.
No. I think he has like a future in that sense because of how much of a following he has, which is
grows the sport. It's like Hamilton, grows the sport. Verstappen in Holland, just all of Holland.
That's true. It's kind of interesting to see very much like a whole country behind one person.
Yeah, it is pretty. You know what? Actually, we didn't talk about this with Netherlands, but the Dutch Grand Prix, like the atmosphere seemed really good, but I thought it'd actually be even crazier.
Yeah. Maybe
I thought it might have just been the coverage, but I thought it'd be louder and there'd be even more flares and shit going on. But
maybe it's just one of those things that you have to be there to understand how crazy it was.
100%. Yeah, well, we've only been to the Oz GP, so
I know. I kind of want to do like an outside of Australia.
100%. Which one would you do?
I don't know. To be honest, if Zandvoort continues to be, I think they have like a contract for a while. Like I wouldn't mind going to Zandvoort.
I don't know. Yeah, I wouldn't mind Zandvoort as well. Either Zandvoort. Oh, I don't know. The race would be pretty dull, I think. Maybe next year with the regulations are different, we'll see. But the race was pretty dull. Monza for sure. Like,
that's true.
It's a Fossi, and like if Ferrari wins there, oh my goodness! Remember in 2019 when Charles Leclerc won?
Yeah, that was pretty
podium. Like all those memes, like the Obama, Trump memes, and then Leclerc. Oh, it was so good. So it was amazing. Just then when them sing the national anthem as well.
I think overall this season's been a pretty fantastic.
This season is amazing.
Yeah.
Sorry, I shouldn't have swear.
But like, there's legitimately, I don't know. Like I've watched since I think 2012. And like
2012 was good,
and like since the new regulations came in, like I think this is probably hybrid. I think this is the best season that there has been.
I definitely agree with you.
Yeah, and I'm kind of glad in one sense that that COVID happened for like F1 at least, not in the whole world sense, but like.
What are you saying, mate? What are you saying?
because we wouldn't have had this season.
100%.
And I guess it just allowed for the cars to develop to a point where there's still obviously cars that are so like further developed and they're way faster. But at the same time,
yeah.
Well, the thing is, like you saw yesterday's race, like, but even if McLaren is so good, Hamilton was still catching up to Norris, like
yeah, he was,
like very quickly.
but he couldn't pass Hamilton. Ricardo.
Yeah, that's true. So I guess that shows like the issues with the current cars, but
yeah, very true.
But at the same time, like it goes to show there's more than the driver, I guess, because a driver can be amazing, but like Hamilton and McLaren, I don't think could be catching Norris that quickly.
Yeah, probably not. Yeah, definitely. Look, it's definitely the driver and the team.
Yeah,
like it's the best. It's a team. It's a team sport. It's the best of both. You have one key member of the team who drives the vehicle, and then the rest of the team that develop it, service it, ensure that it's ready to go. It's awesome. That's why we love it.
That's
true.
It's
awesome, and just the science behind it. So and the engineering. Oh, so cool.
Have you watched
any effects? Sorry, go on.
Have you watched any reactions with like Lando and anything?
I saw on Instagram. Actually, saw a few memes on Instagram. I got to send you. He was disappointed, but I haven't watched anything else. I went to bed straight after the race.
Fair enough.
Told him, Matt, good night. Get my sleep before I wake up and get going. Yeah. Although one thing I got to say, do you remember lap 1, first lap?
Yeah.
Okay. So Sainz takes the lead. Cool. Alonso.
Yeah.
Do you remember?
Which part?
So Alonso freaking doesn't even brake, just goes like wide at turn 2, 3, and just takes the thing and ends up third.
I saw that and I was like, first of all, how did he do that?
He locked up or anything. He just went. I love it.
And the thing is, he still had to go through the bollard, like not the bollards, but like the foam bollards, and he still managed to get through perfectly fine.
Dude, I heard on the pre-lap, so I was watching the Sky or Fox Sports and KO, and Crofty or the Resta said, Alonso's taken the bollard thing, the route that you're not supposed to take, and gone through the bollard, and he's gone through it at a rapid pace just to see how quickly it is. And it's like, I thought to myself, knowing Alonso, he's probably just going to take that just for shits and kicks and just sees what happens. And he did it.
Well, the thing is that it's interesting to see like what all these drivers are thinking about. Like, it's funny because like even Alonso, I didn't expect him to kind of defend as hard as he did yesterday, like in the opening laps. Like, because the thing is, like, everyone, like, at least in most races, you see that especially when a car gets into a position they don't generally expect themselves to be in, they're like, okay, we're racing out, like, we're in our own race. Like, it's not like, okay, you wouldn't see, like, necessarily a Racing Point a few years trying to defend a Red Bull because they know the Red Bull's 100%. Coming through anyway. They'll try and defend their position, but they're not going to like spend a whole like 3-4 laps like wasting tires.
No way.
For no 100%. Reason.
Yeah, so, it's that gap now that's starting, not bridged, but it's starting to close, and hopefully it closes next year and it's just gone. And like, you imagine like if we get like a 2012 or 2010 season where we've got like 6 people fighting for the championship instead of just Verstappen and Hamilton, and like they're all from different teams.
That's true, and I think ultimately like this season serves as a learning experience for all these teams because like I've been on the Formula One subreddit today morning, and there's a mixture of opinions about who is at fault for Lando's thing. And there's like one big post where people like the title of the post was like, why are people like coddling Norris for like his mistake?
Why are they cuddling Norris because it's his mistake?
Yeah, like I guess like because the general consensus is
made the call.
Yeah, like the general consensus is, he did. It was like kind of a harebrained move. If he had actually come into the pits, he would have won or something.
True.
But at the same time, I think they forget that, for example, Red Bull's always been amazing with rain calls. If you like, well, not always, but generally they've been amazing with rain calls.
I'm just trying to remember some. But
like Malaysia, the last time around, I believe, was
in 2017.
Was it?
No. When did it rain in Malaysia? Oh, I don't know. You're
Was it
testing my brain now, mate.
was it Malaysia? I don't know. I swear it was Malaysia.
I think okay. Red Bull are generally good, I guess.
Like, well, like at least in that weird like intermission of I need to go from dries to like wets or like intermediates.
I'll tell you a thought where they were bad actually. And Verstappen's. You remember Germany 2018 when it started to sprinkle, but then it stopped, and then
Yeah,
it freaking downpoured at the when the race was over. Of course it
yeah.
did. Yeah, they made a bad call there. Sorry to kind of just like shit
No.
all over you.
The like thing is, like, I guess no one can make a complete like they can't. No one can have 100% hit rate. But I think
Yeah,
what I was trying to
true.
say is that like McLaren hasn't had to deal with, oh, we're in the lead of a race, blah blah
No,
blah.
100%.
What
Well, it's
decision
Norris,
exactly?
right?
And
Like, yeah, 100%.
and ultimately, I think I saw like some like it was like a side to side. So like Hamilton and Norris were both giving interviews together to like
I did see that.
yeah, and I think what like what
Yeah,
what was said there makes sense because ultimately Hamilton made the decision based on the information he got, which was that first it wasn't going to get any better, and it was going to stay the same, and then later on it was going to get worse. But for Norris, it was
I don't think the team actually informed him about the weather radar. Obviously, I don't know, so wasn't listening to it. But
I
that's
think
what
from
I did hear. Actually, a rumor about that, and I do thank you for jogging my memory. I do remember seeing that, and Norris was talking to Hamilton, and Hamilton said, "Yeah, my team was great. They told me the rain was going to get heavier," and Norris was like, "Oh, yeah, I didn't get any word from my team about that." It's
yeah, so
kind
I
of like,
think
oof, okay, but yeah,
it is somewhat of like a driver thing and a team thing.
yeah,
Like
it,
overall,
go
like like for example, like like for example, why people liked Kimi when he was like "shut up and let me drive" was because he had the performances to back that up, right? Because
leave
he
me alone. I know what I'm
yeah,
doing. Sorry,
but like he had the
he did.
performances and
Yeah,
the caliber to say that, and I guess that's where some of the negative commentary comes about Norris yesterday because I guess he was kind of not obviously you can't be in the mind of a driver, but at the same time, if you imagine he is 21, isn't he? 20.
I think so. 21 or 22. Yeah.
You're 21. You've literally getting your like made like very first win. Like it's something that we can't even imagine.
Oh,
Like
100%.
that's not even a headspace that we can be in.
Yeah, 100%. We shouldn't
And
be blaming him. We should. I mean,
exactly.
obviously, we can voice our opinions, but we're not blaming anything.
Yeah, I think that's ultimately where like sport fans overall seem to forget that we sit on a couch and we watch something, but at the same time we can't ever
I can
understand.
do that.
We can't like necessarily criticize people because we don't
What?
actually know that position. Like,
Yeah, good shout, mate. Good shout, 100%. So my reaction to it was like both the team and the driver made the mistake. It's a team sport, right? So debrief, learn from it, move on. You'll get another opportunity. No point dwelling on it. No point wasting time over it. Analyze it. Build yourself up. Build the strengths. All right. Failure is a fantastic thing because it allows you to seek out and improve yourself. And, McLaren and Norris will come back stronger.
Yeah, it's true.
Done.
100%. And I think thing is, Sochi itself was a pretty surprising track this time around. Because
You know what? I've always liked Sochi.
But like Sochi
I know.
But like like honestly, it's not a bad track. Like I kind of like driving it. Like
wait, what?
Like in my imaginary world, yeah. But like it's a nice-ish track, but like it's never necessarily had exciting racing.
Yeah, it's Mercedes won every time.
Yeah,
still.
Well, is it? Oh yeah.
Even like 1913, 1914. It's crazy. It's crazy.
I don't get it. This time around, it was surprising. But the thing is, like, obviously there were different battles all over the place, but it was still good because. But that being said, the TV direction was pretty hard. Like,
yeah, I heard that. I didn't think it was too bad. Well, like, it wasn't Monaco level with Stroll memes, but
yeah. But I guess like there was like for example when Norris overtook Sainz, we didn't see that live.
Yeah, that was pretty poor, eh? That was halfway through Norris overtaking Sainz, it cut to it. That wasn't that great. But look, I feel like that was, apart from that, I don't know. Maybe I was just too excited with Norris and Hamilton racing each other. I didn't realize the bad stuff that was going on.
To be honest, I think that's like the most on edge I've been this whole year. Like when it came to a race, like
I was pretty. Oh no! 2 weekends ago with Daniel Ricciardo.
Yeah, that was. I think it's just so going from like a high to an even bigger high.
Yeah, 100%. Now, just this season is so good.
Honestly, it is. Like
It is fantastic. I cannot believe we're having a fantastic season after, like, the dominance from 14 to 16 of Merc, and then 17 and 18 Ferrari gave us a little bit of hope, and well, we know how that happened. Germany 2018. Sorry, Vettel. But yeah, and then 19 Mercedes was just like, but Valtteri Bottas looked like he was rejuvenated, but that was short lived. Exactly. And then last year was just Hamilton won it at the first race. Or the second race, he was going to win the championship, and now it's like we've got like an incredible battle with phenomenal races almost every weekend. Even like France was a phenomenal race.
Yeah,
like just the strategy and everything involved in it. Spain was phenomenal. Like, what's going on?
I think overall,
thank you. This is awesome.
I just hope that dominant car thing just doesn't happen again. Like like people, like, for example, it's great, like it's applied to every, like, most world champions, if you think about it. Like it applied to Hamilton. Like anyone who says that Hamilton necessarily didn't win because of a dominant car is either blind or dumb. I don't know which one it is. Like he is talented, but he also like walked a few. Yeah, like there are a few championships that he pretty much walked. Like,
yeah. 2020.
Like there was no real competition in some of these,
unfortunately. 19 from the early second half. 18 from Germany 2018.
Yeah,
actually no, Sebastian won in Belgium as well. Vettel. Yeah, he won in Belgium. That was his last win, and then the win after that was Singapore, and that's his last win to date. Singapore 2019. Yeah, so after Belgium 2018, Hamilton was just Mercedes picked it up and Ferrari went bad. But it is what it is.
Yeah, like I think it applies to everyone. Like even Seb had the same thing for his 4 championships. Like, like that was a pretty decently dominant car. Like,
agreed.
So yeah, I think it. But at the same time, I just hope it doesn't happen again. It leads to not boring racing, but racing you don't necessarily want to tune in for. Like, I know in like 2018 even like 2019 there were some races that I just couldn't be bothered watching because I kind of knew
France. 2019.
Yeah,
just like why Hamilton's won it.
Yeah,
Bottas is second.
Exactly, and it's
just like, but there's a few battles in the midfield. Like it just got really boring.
Exactly, and that's why I kind of enjoy this season because it's
title challenge is so much better.
I don't think I've missed a single race this season, and that includes the weird races that are like at 2:00 in the morning.
Oh, the worst, the worst. Apparently, like at the US and like Mexico along like at 6 a.m. Monday and like 8 a.m. Monday. right when we're at work. Oh jeez.
Jesus Christ. I don't think I watched this.
That's a shame. That's a shame. At least you get qualifying on Sunday morning. For us. Perks of living in Australia.
Well, the thing is, if you live in Perth, I think it's a bit better.
Yeah, obviously. It's 3 hour difference, to Sydney and Melbourne and Brisbane. Yeah, true. But you know what? I always feel bad for the Kiwis. Our other brothers. No one mentions the New Zealanders. And they're like, I don't know, they're 3 hours ahead of us in Auckland and Wellington and Christchurch and everywhere.
I didn't think about that.
Bro, like, like last night, the race was like 10 p.m. for us, right? Yeah. So it's like 1 a.m. for them. And then the races that are at like 11 or midnight, they're at like 3 in the morning on a Monday.
That's
It's like,
true.
poor bastards. Yeah.
I didn't even think about that.
Poor
Yeah.
Brendan Hartley.
Well, what Liam Lawson, isn't it?
Oh yeah, there's
That's
Liam Lawson too. I think he's
what's
Kiwi. I don't know.
yeah, I think he is, but like that's his
I
dead
only
niece.
follow Oscar Piastri.
Mm,
What
that's
an idiot.
interesting as well. Like we have one open seat still. We don't know who's going to be in it.
Unusual.
Yeah, well, let's just
Sorry.
hope.
Yeah. I wanted to talk about that.
People thinking that money doesn't affect F1. So
Latifi, Mazepin, Stroll. What? And every other driver.
to be honest, I can't even like hate
Except for Ocon and Hamilton.
like Latifi is not even that bad, honestly. Though,
Oh,
for, like,
I
a
think
paid
he's actually
driver.
getting really good, eh?
Yeah,
Like low key, I think he's starting to really pick it up. I
Mm.
think he's starting to improve as well, which I'm looking forward to. I think he's actually gonna be relatively surprisingly competitive against Albon next year. Probably even beat him at the starts. He's just the setup of the car and the team
That's true.
team morale and infrastructure around them. We'll see.
Speaking of Albon, like I don't know, it seems pretty interesting how strongly Red Bull feels about him. like because if they didn't,
He's decent, man.
no, like I like Albon. I honestly
Yeah.
do, but at the same time, it's kind of unusual, I guess, to see them
Red Bull
retain
be so kind.
well, like being like, okay, we reserve like full like the rights to you
Yeah.
if you choose to like leave Williams in the future. Like what? Like
fair point. Yeah.
Like
Mate.
it's not like they did anything for Brendan Hartley after he left. Like they just told him to
Yeah, just see ya. Danny Kvyat. Oh man.
Yeah.
Just like, yeah, nah. Go to Toro Rosso. Nah, see you later.
Yeah.
You crashed on Verstappen once or twice, see you later. And then, come back, we need you. Nah, see ya.
Exactly.
We need Honda.
That being said, I guess like I've heard, like there's been a lot of good stuff said about Albon, at least as a simulator driver.
Yeah, true.
So who knows?
We'll see what happens, eh?
You know?
See how it goes. Yeah, I wanted to talk about Giovinazzi.
Oh yeah.
Oh, poor guy.
Jesus himself.
Oh yeah, Italian Jesus. Remember that meme I sent you? Moi racing with extra Jesus. That's so good. Alfa Romeo racing, moi racing with extra Jesus. Oh, it's so good. I don't. Unfortunately, I don't think Antonio Giovinazzi will be staying in Formula One.
I guess
I want him to. I think he's cool, but
yeah, I guess he's had his opportunities there. Like he's had how many seasons in F1? Like 4 years.
Look, obviously, I'm talking about a driver, and I'm not a driver, I'm not a Formula One driver. But oh well, too bad. I think from what I have observed from him, I don't know about his work ethic. Actually, I wonder how his work ethic is. Maybe he has a really good work ethic. Maybe he doesn't. I feel like he just hasn't capitalized on the result. Like Kimi was 8th, bro. Kimi skipped 2 races and now he's 8th. Like, I know weather, tires, all these different factors jump into it, but like, where'd that come from?
That's true. I guess the other thing that comes down to it is that like what Kimi has like essentially like 20 years in the sport.
Yeah, but Kimi doesn't care. He's just there for the hobby.
But like
no, but I reckon Kimi's been done since 2018. After 18, he was like, whatever. I want a bit more
it's
money,
like the perfect paycheck.
Hold on. Sorry. I've got people coming home. There's going to be noise.
That's all good.
Okay, thanks for that. Yeah, what was I saying? Giovinazzi?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think he's staying, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think
I'd love to be proven wrong, but I just don't think what you guys like the B or the is it a bee or a wasp? Like Sting, he's got like his logo's got like a bee or something. I'm sure
it's got Bumblebee or something. Isn't it?
I think so. Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, the
I've
Stinger or something.
before.
I don't know.
But like, yeah, I don't. I guess there's just so many. Overall, there are so many better drivers out there. I guess.
Calamai a lot, but anyway.
But like, it.
Yeah,
Like even
money.
like. Yeah, I think ultimately money as well as I guess
Team
the
influence.
yeah. But like if you consider like even like market opportunity, like
Also,
for
I
a
did not
small
consider that.
like
Yeah.
for like a smaller team like Alfa Romeo, like what? Yeah, like I guess bringing like someone like Antonio is great, but like if you think about Guan Yu Zhou, like $30 million plus possibly breaking into the Chinese market
Mm.
as Alfa Romeo, like obviously Alfa Romeo is already in the Chinese market, but if you can sell more Alfa Romeos in the Chinese market, that'd be even better. So like,
100%. Like, it just makes so much sense.
and even if you're only going to take his 30 million for a year, that's
Yeah.
still that's still better than nothing.
Very true. Mind you, I'd like to see a Chinese driver in there. Like, it builds more of an international sport. I mean, yes, we've got Russian drivers who don't have flags. And anyway, we've got a lot of British. We've got a few. Do we have Sebastian Vettel, the only German?
Well, no, we got Mick.
Oh, sorry. Yes. Sorry, Mr. Schumacher. Yes, Mick Schumacher. The memes of Sebastian. Can I come out? Can Mick come out and play? Anyway, yeah, a lot of Europes and obviously hometown boy Daniel Ricciardo. But you know, maybe like an Indian driver would be cool. Not Mahavir, but you know, sorry.
I think that's the thing.
Driver. Yeah, we got Japanese as well, but it'd be good.
I guess that comes down to like, I think I was having a conversation with someone about this recently, which is like the demographic of those countries is different, right? Because well, not demographic, but I guess the psychology of those countries is different when it comes to raising kids. Because you don't like European or like European countries or Western countries are more likely to be like, oh, go outside, have like play some soccer, kick a ball or something, right? Or even like go out and play and do karts. But the likelihood that, like, for example, the likelihood that you see an Indian kid or like a Chinese kid or any kid in those types of environments,
those types of,
is a bit less, if that makes sense. Like,
I think I know what you mean. I'll let you finish and I'll add something to it.
No, that's where
my okay. I think the idea of like sending children out to play is universal. Like go kick a ball or let's do it. But
it doesn't go further than that, mate. Yeah, that as well.
Money, 100%. That's the thing. You know, the demographics of different countries for sure. 100%.
But that being said, though, right? Like for example, you see that Perez has been like sponsored by Mr. Slim for like ages now.
Mr. Slim?
Carlos Slim, like the guy that.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Anyway, yeah.
But like if there's a market for it, someone rich enough in that country will do it. Like sure. if there was like an Indian kid who was going to be like the next like amazingly good driver and like who had the potential to get into F1, there's a fair likelihood that a countless number of those billionaires in India would be willing to throw a few 100,000 or his way.
Do you think?
Yeah, like.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, what they've got all this money, what are they going to spend it on? Human rights?
The thing is, like, ultimately, you can get like you give them whatever amount of money in exchange for having your name on their like. Not that they need more advertising, but you can have like their name on your helmet or whatever. Like it's still an exchange your logo, of something.
Your company, you can promote it for sure. Yeah, exactly. 100%.
And especially if it's a company that can have greater growth by having international exposure, why not? Like
sponsorship.
Exactly. Money. It's like
well, there you go.
And you think if you think about it, like I wouldn't see there's like many billionaires or like millionaires in China. Like
a lot more poor people, but anyway.
But like you wouldn't be surprised to see like one of those people be interested in
Formula One,
like fostering like that their home talent. in any
Yeah,
way, sort
for
of form.
sure, 100%. Makes
So
sense.
it's just the right person has to come along with at the right moment. Like,
Yeah, at the right moment as well. I think that's obviously there's money and talent and everything, but the timing is also important.
yeah, I think right
Like
now the
poor
issue
Ilott.
is, yeah, I think right now the issue is that there is so much talent, just not enough seats. Like,
Yeah, only 20 seats.
exactly, and it's
Well,
not like the teams don't want to change drivers every second year. That's just gonna lead to like shitty performances overall. Like,
100%. Yeah, no, that's right. And now we've got massive contracts like Leclerc, Ocon, Verstappen. Like, I think Bottas now has. I heard a rumor he's got like a 3-year deal now, which
yeah,
is good for him.
that's
That's good.
definitely good for
Happy
him.
for him.
Mm.
Anyway, race was good. Ricardo, oh, it was great.
Yeah,
I
like
thought
he
it was
kept.
pretty, P4, not bad. I wish he got the podium, but that was still pretty good. Made a good call with the tyres, I reckon. And
Yeah,
some of the overtakes that he made. I mean, we didn't see them, but I think he made an overtake on. Oh, I don't remember who the driver is. I'm not going to speculate, but he made some banger overtakes, like back Red Bull days. You know,
mm,
like China 2018 Valtteri Bottas for the league. Do you remember that overtake?
that's
Just
true.
like, see ya.
I honestly, like, I think he's kind of getting back into form
Well,
recently.
from what the interviews that I've read, he says he is. He says he enjoyed the break and allowed him to reset. And now he's like,
Mm,
yeah, the dynamics of his car have clicked.
mm,
And oh, I did read up on the dynamics of the McLaren from the race. Have you heard of the race?
yeah.
They're pretty good. Like I like their website and their YouTube videos too. Apparently, the car is different than many other cars. You need to adapt to the driving style, and it's rather difficult to
Yeah,
adapt to.
yeah.
I
I've
don't
seen.
remember exactly why though. I think it's something to do. Maybe it's something to do with braking, or maybe it's something to do with turning. But
Yeah, like I believe, like I can't remember exactly what. Like
yeah,
I typed a message after someone about it a while ago.
yeah, maybe that
Essentially,
was me.
I think like the way they enter like corners is completely different. So like how they carry speed is
Very different.
substantially different from like how.
Many other cars.
Yeah, and on top of that, like I think the other reason they have so much trouble like overtaking McLarens is because of how the air comes
Efficient their
off those
car is.
cars. Yeah, well,
Yeah,
like the amount of the way the air coming off that car is, I don't know how dirty, but apparently it's apparently very different. And I think that's corroborated by with like what science has said early on as well. Like
mm,
after he moved to Ferrari, and I think he was asked about like Ricardo's like difficulties, and he was like, "Yeah, that's a difficult car to drive." Like it seems it's been like that for a while now. So
yeah. Just the philosophy of the McLaren.
mm,
I wonder if it'll be this. I wonder if it'll be a similar philosophy next year with new regs. That'd
well,
be
the thing
interesting
is,
to see.
like new regs are a thing, but like they're still gonna. There's gonna be somewhat. It's not like they're starting from zero. Like there's a
Yeah,
bit of inheritance from this car to the next one. Like
yeah, of course. There's got to be some obviously besides the engine, some inheritance, and also it's maybe just like a design overall arching philosophy of how you engineer the vehicle,
mm,
like ingrained within the employees. Like this is the most effective method that we can derive to develop the vehicle, kind of like what Adrian Newey does,
mm,
which I don't know exactly what it is, but with this, but he obviously with the Red Bull, he's got a very specific way of designing that
mm.
vehicle. So it's and Verstappen's able to unlock it very well. And unfortunately, Gasly, Albon, and Perez, not so much.
Mm. And
But
maybe
it's what
that,
it is.
yeah, I guess you have a point because, like, I get the calendar isn't going to change that much next year,
No.
and it theoretically really hasn't changed that much since 2014 anyway. Um,
Yeah, it hasn't at all. Last year was the biggest change up because of the pandemic.
exactly. So I guess the teams could kind of look back on these last few, well, like the last 6 years or whatever, and kind of figure out. Because, for example, like the Mercedes philosophy isn't necessarily to win everywhere; it's to win. It's to just be the best at
Qualify.
most places. Like the thing is, like then they're horrible, not horrible, but they're not great at Monaco.
They have been the past couple of years.
Yeah, but like
I know what you
it's
mean. I know what you
like
mean.
it's generally that like high
It's like a-
downforce like setups
short
aren't
wheelbase
there.
cars
Yeah,
are better on tight street circuits because they're much more nimble.
exactly. And like
Wheelbase shorter. Mercedes is the longer wheelbase for more stability, but for lugging that around,
yeah,
you know,
and like for example, Red Bull went with a high rake philosophy this time around,
as usual.
and Merc went with a low rakes. And the thing is, who knows? Like, who knows if they change their philosophy for next year? Like,
Well, yeah, well, I think it's a totally different concept because it's a massive ground effect. The cars are big on ground effects, so I think the majority of cars would be high rate then to take effect of those ground effects, because you got more room underneath, so more room to have ground effect occurring. I wonder if the wheel, but no, am I talking nonsense now?
I don't know. Like I haven't read up much on next year's technical rules.
Yeah, nor have I. Maybe I'm just waffling. But, whatever.
Yeah, who knows? I haven't read much on that, so I can't really talk unless I want to talk out of my ass.
Well, hello. That's all we do. Anyway, yeah. What was I going? I forgot what I was going to say. No, anyway, it doesn't. Last thing before we rank them, Verstappen. Actually, a few things. Verstappen was good. P2, nice work.
Yeah, that was a very, very nice strategy call, I think, from Red Bull.
Red Bull, yeah, they did good. And Verstappen was good at overtaking. Just see a Bottas.
Yeah, I think I guess they it kind of around midway. It was looking like he might not get that top 5 spot just because of how much he was getting held up, especially behind like Seb. It was
Vettel and Ricciardo, for sure.
And then he was held up behind Gasly and Sainz.
Poor Gasly. Sorry, anyway.
Yeah, but it was I think an overall very good drive, and it would be nice.
Oh, Gasly let him through, didn't he?
Well, yeah, but like the second time around. So when he was coming back through the field again.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I think I remember that.
That was when
focused on the lead.
Gasly still hadn't pitted at that moment, so he was still in front in that situation. But yeah, I think he seems to be handling it decently okay.
Who?
Well, Verstappen at his age.
No, he's super chill. I think he's thought about this for a long time, and he's finally here, and he's like, okay, I visualized it, I planned for it, I'll just execute it.
Yeah, I think obviously there's a bit of inexperience, I guess.
Oh, for sure.
Like for example, the Monza incident didn't have to happen. Like if, like it like, you know what I mean. But the thing is, there's a bit of a whiff of desperation from both sides, if that makes sense.
Yeah, 100%.
It's not to say that Hamilton hasn't been doing some 2016 Rosberg era desperation tactic. Like the thing is, like no, like because if you look at if you look at the driver that
Spain 2016,
but like the way Hamilton acted in 2016 compared to the rest of these last few years was pretty significantly different. He was a different driver in that. Like I guess that was the last time he had like proper competition and
really serious competition.
It kind of feels like it again now. Like
it totally feels like it. There's like 2 points I think now separating Verstappen and Hamilton. With Hamilton in the lead. That's so good. Yes.
Yeah. Like I'm not gonna lie. Like
Abu Dhabi's gonna actually be relevant.
That's true. At least I hope.
Yeah.
But like and the thing is, like, I think ultimately for Verstappen, this race was perfect because best case damage limitation, right? Like
new engine.
Like, he has a new engine and he barely lost anything. I guess like what could he have done better? Come first, like
literally that's it.
Like,
but Hamilton was 50 seconds up the road, so it's
exactly
phenomenal. Well done.
So I think it's a good thing for Red Bull overall.
I think Hamilton would be like crapping his pants now because he's like, oh, I might have to take an engine too,
Well,
and I might not get the
it's not
same
might.
result.
He has to, like, because I think from what I've seen, they have confirmed that one of the engines is bad, so he has to take a penalty at some point. So
Oof.
if that's the case, I think the rumors were that they'll probably take it in Mexico, because Mexico is generally not a mad track. But
Yeah, interesting.
But even then, like, the gap is substantially closer than it should have. Like, it should have been, I guess. Like, if the race finished the way it was going, Verstappen should have finished, I think, like 7th or 8th. Like,
Yeah, for sure. But
who knows? Like,
yeah, who knows?
Like, we didn't expect Sochi to be this good, so who knows?
No, we didn't.
We didn't expect Norris to have a pole position, so who knows?
Yeah, that. Oh my. Okay, let's go straight into it then. Let's rank them. I'm just going to get the teams. Hold on. All right, so I'll go with construct. So, Mercedes Hamilton out of 10. What do you think?
Oh, I think his drive overall is pretty great. Like,
it's pretty great.
So I think
he's pretty great. His qualifying was a bit in there, but he hit the wall. The wall in qualifying, the pit entry wall, and then screwed up Bottas too, but screwed him up as well.
If we wanted to, like, if 10 was like perfect scenario, you didn't screw up, you got pole position, you got fastest
what is
lap.
it? Is it Grand Slam or Grand Slalom or something?
Yeah, but can it be a Grand Slam anymore? Because, like, oh yeah, no, it can. Yes, because it's
pole
just you get an extra point. Yeah,
lap and
and
win the race.
Yeah. So
and lead every lap. Yeah.
Yeah. So if that's the perfect scenario, and that's a 10, I guess you could give him a 7.5 or an 8.
Oh, I was gonna go 8.
Yeah, like I think 7.5 is a decent thing, because, like,
mind you, he won the race,
but he also did make.
But he might not have won it if it didn't rain.
That's true. Yeah,
it didn't look. It looked like it might have got really close. Might have had to make a lunge, but might not have won it. All right, I reckon 8. 8 out of 10. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet. All right, Valtteri Bottas. Muy Valtteri. What do you think?
I think. Well, see, that's the thing. Like, I don't know with Bottas. Like, he was.
Okay, qualifying kind of got screwed.
Yeah,
but probably should have done a faster lap on his first attempt.
Yeah, so I guess in that sense,
engine penalty to block Verstappen, but apparently didn't see Verstappen. Just okay, whatever. Like if it was back last week, 10 out of 10 Italy. This week,
I don't know.
6.
Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah, he should have done better. I reckon 6.
Well, like, he had a car that
greater than a 7.
Like, he had a car that could have.
He did make a good call, actually, to come in pits to make 5 to become P5 though.
That's P5. True. Let's go with
it's a 6 or 7 for me.
I'll go with the 6. Yeah. I think I love Bottas. Like, he's my if I was to buy, like,
we know,
but
Valtteri.
But I think it was a 6 today.
Yeah, I think so. You should have shook his hand with me. Next year in Alfa. All right, Red Bull Racing. Red Bull. What do we got? Verstappen.
I think that's
20th to 2nd with some great overtakes. Got stuck, but pulled it off quite well.
If we're giving,
go on.
No, what were you going to say?
Do you think he did better than Hamilton? Or equal?
I guess he had a harder race to do, if Definitely. That makes sense. Like,
100%.
So overall, I think it's. I guess he deserves a bit more in that, like, overall scheme of things. But like, if I was,
I'm going to give him a 9.
Yeah, like I wasn't expecting. I'll go on like a 8.5, but yeah. Like 9,
halves, bro. You know that.
No.
Halves. Otherwise, we'll be like
accuracy. What is your? Where's your uncertainty?
So we are not. This is Checo Perez. And be quiet. Freaking uncertainty.
Perez. Well, the thing is, Perez was
haunting me with university. Anyway, sorry.
Perez was
engine
interesting.
work. But anyway,
Like Perez was interesting. I think like he was there, but also not there. If that makes
started
sense.
ninth, didn't he?
Yeah.
And finished ninth.
Yeah, but
Hold
like
on,
the
let me see
thing is, like
results.
he wasn't able to keep up with Hamilton.
Yeah, he finished ninth. He wasn't able to keep up.
And I saw some post today that essentially said Sergio Perez today has scored the same amount of points as Russell has. And I was like, oh,
I mean,
like
it's a hard car.
well, I guess like in the last like 4 races or whatever, he's scored the same amount of points as Russell has, and
Yeah,
I guess that's not necessarily a good look. Like obviously, like there's bad luck and other like externalities that he can't control, but at the same time, it's not necessarily a good look for a Red Bull driver to have the same amount of points in the last 4 whatever races as say a driver in arguably worse car. Like
yeah, I agree. So my question is to summarize that. So, did you do better than Valtteri?
I'm not gonna say so.
I don't think he did. I think he did a little bit worse.
I'll give him a 5. Like if I really wanted to.
Yeah, I was going to
it.
give him a 5 as well. I'm just writing all these down. Sorry.
He was okay, but nah. But I guess that comes down to the fact that car just is impossible to drive, and maybe that's why they're so nice
Seems
to.
like it.
Maybe that's why they're so nice to Albon. Like they've come to realize that they made a mistake. That it seems like the only people that were able to drive that car were Ricciardo and Verstappen. Like
Possibly.
in like a competitive manner, at least.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe that's why they're just so generous now.
Yeah. Who knows?
There you go.
Who's next?
Okay. I give him a 5.
Yeah.
Norris, 10. Oh, I'd give him a 9.5. We did half marks, but I'll round up 10.
Like, yeah, I think I can't. I don't think you can necessarily blame the driver for what happened yesterday.
Slow round down. I think you can blame it as well. It's a team effort. Both the teams should have said more. They should have informed me the weather. If they did or didn't, obviously I don't know. So whatever. Obviously I'm not a driver, but Norris should have said, "Yeah, look, it's raining." You know, he made a few. I remember he made like a few slips.
Exactly.
Like in that 5-6 here, it's like
and that was pretty early on.
Dare I say, if it was me in the car, I would have gone, "Oh, right, okay." So I'm starting to slip. So it's probably a good idea to really start thinking about it. I might take it lap by lap, see how I go. And then that lap when the lap that Hamilton came in, I remember specifically watching him. There was a few slides. It's like, oh, surely he's going to come in. I probably would have said, "No, get me in. I'll take the risk."
Yeah, I think it's one of those things that was like,
and that was in the moment too, right?
Yeah, and I think ultimately it's somewhat easier as a person who's in like second place to try and pit, but as the guy who's leading the race,
100%.
All it takes
raining, it's like, oh.
Well, the thing is, the best case scenario, he would have pitted with Hamilton, right? And all it takes for him to lose his first place is a bad pit stop from McLaren. And pretty much every team since those stupid ass regulation changes have been having.
Tell me how you really feel.
But since they've had those regulation changes, every team's been having bad pit stops, and like if I remember correctly, Merckx had some bad pit stops as well. Not as much, but
they still had bad pit stop. McLaren had a bad pit stop with Ricciardo this race too.
Exactly. So like, until those things get ironed out, I think that's also a factor that people have to consider. Like, okay, sure, you come in for like intermediates, but what if you screw up the pit stop? Then you might. Who knows where you end up?
Yeah, true. All right, final rating.
I want to give him a 10, but at the same time. But it's not perfect. He didn't have a perfect scenario.
Yeah, he didn't win.
So you can't give him a 10.
And it's literally perfect 9. Fair enough. Okay. Ricciardo.
I think he did pretty well. I think. I guess.
Yeah, P5 qualifying, got screwed, like did really well in the race. Made a few overtakes, got overtaken by Checo Perez. Bad pit stop, dropped him back. Picked up, still finished P4.
Yeah, I think
It's an 8.
Yeah, I think overall his race was pretty good.
I'm a little biased, but I think that's an 8.
I think we're both a bit fairly biased.
Really?
It's
The
an 8.
Australians think
It's an 8 with an
asterisk. All right. Charles Leclerc. Oh, dude, he looked promising. That I think in that first lap he made up like 8 positions.
Yeah, like
that was like.
I remember like first lap. I saw like I think it was like 12th by like end of first
positions too.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, it was good. It was good.
But like, yeah, I think he legitimately. I remember like first lap he had, I think it was like P12, and like Bottas and like Verstappen was still like languishing out towards the end. I was like, what is going on? Like.
Maybe Charles Leclerc cut the corner like Alonso too.
he found the higher ground.
It's true. We finished 15th, so he probably made a bad error with the weather.
Yeah, but I think overall his if we take we rated Bottas at 6, didn't we?
I think.
I think he did better than Bottas. Like,
no, I don't think he did. Oh,
really?
maybe he did make up some good ground. Maybe a 7.
I guess if you look at where his teammate came and where he came, I guess it's not.
Yeah, that's pretty bad as well. Okay. Yeah. Look, I'm gonna say 6.
Yeah, okay, I can live with that.
All right.
I don't know if we in a race like this, do we blame like team?
Yeah, we blame it all. It's a team sport, so if the team screw up, he's raging. Science.
I think he was like his race was pretty good. His quality was decent.
He made that. I don't know if it was the team's call or his call, the early pit stop, but then managed to stay on those tires for the rest of the race.
Yeah, and I guess
graining or whatever the issue was with the tires, I don't recall what it is, surpassed. So,
I guess, and ultimately, like it wasn't whatever happened. Like the bad things that did happen to his race weren't his fault. So,
fair point. Oh, it is kind of his fault. He agrees with the team to box.
That's true.
But he finished. He recovered well. Finished on the podium.
That's true.
I think it's a solid. What do I give Ricciardo? 8.
Yeah, I can go with that. Yeah, I think that's fair.
I think it's an 8 too. Not quite a 9, but it's an 8. Nice. Science 8. Fernando Alonso. Minus 10 for that cut at the beginning. It's so
could you imagine if that was
so
like
good?
If that wasn't like F1 game, you would have been like disqualified like straight away.
100%.
Sorry, no. If it was F1 2020, like if it was F1 2021, you would have spun out just by going over the cut. But anyway,
or like you would, like if someone knocked him and he just went off and cut the corner a little bit because someone hit him. 20-second penalty. It's hilarious.
Yes.
So he cut it, but he ended up 6th. That's pretty good.
Yeah, and I think
he made good ground. I didn't really follow, like everyone below here. I didn't really follow their races that well. So,
and where did Esteban finish up? I forget.
Esteban Ocon, 14th. Yeah, not great.
I guess. Yeah, like I think
it's a solid 7 from him.
Yeah, it was a good drive, but nothing.
But that cut at the beginning was just, oh my god! It's just like it's just so long.
Honestly, I just want like a replay of that. As
I wish there was like I don't know, like maybe he came on the radio and said karma. Remember Jolyon Palmer in 2017 with Italian Grump? Where's Palmer? Oh, Palmer has retired. Palmer. Palmer cut the corner. Oh jeez. Something funny. Yeah, Alonso's funny. Oh, he's funny.
And the thing is, like, I think it's pretty no bullshit as well. Like,
Oh, 100%. I love it. This is straight up.
Yeah, I like it.
Oh, Hamilton's always complaining.
Yeah.
When he's defending from Hamilton. I love it.
Dude.
There's the pot so much.
Yeah, he just. I guess it's just like you've been around so long, like it's that you just don't give a crap anymore. Yeah.
I reckon he loves it too. He loves the pot stirring, the crap talking. He loves it. I reckon.
Yeah, and I think like ultimately it kind of helps the pot stirring that there was a reputation of like I guess a somewhat hatred or rivalry between him and Hamilton, but like.
Oh, hold on, got to pause. We took. Oh, no! You got to stop.
Yes.
Sorry. Thank
That's
you.
good.
Do you have to? You're gonna have to like cut it and like edit it, or just sync it. Sorry.
That's okay. That's fine.
I'll do it next time. What were we talking about? Alonso.
Yeah.
7.
Yeah. I think that's fair.
Done. Esteban Ocon. I don't know. I don't think he had a great race, and he had some bad calls for this team as well.
I think overall he wasn't really shown on the broadcast anyway, even if anyone wanted to figure out how to race win it.
No. That's a 5 from me.
Ooh.
I think Ocon probably could have got a bit higher. I don't remember how he qualified. Do you remember how he qualified?
I'm not sure.
I'll find out. Oh, hold on. He qualified 10th. Alonso qualified 6th.
So overall, kind of a
Alonso
weekend for him.
So it's less than a 7. Yeah, I think it's more of a 5 than a 6.
Yeah, I would
okay.
That.
Gasly.
Ooh. Gasly.
Happy qualifying, didn't make Q3, unfortunately.
It wasn't that bad over the race overall. Like, I don't think
he was 1/10 off Tsunoda in qualifying. In the race, where did he finish? Finished 13th when Tsunoda finished 17th.
Yeah.
I think expect a top 10 from Gasly though.
Yeah, I think it's become a norm for him.
For the AlphaTauri.
Yeah. So I think an underperformance this week, but like it wasn't that bad. So I would still go with like maybe a 6. Like
yeah. Do you think he did better than Ocon?
Oh, he did get knocked out in Q2, didn't he?
Yeah, and Ocon made it. I think it's a 5 for me. I think it's the same ranking as Ocon.
Yeah. I think that, like, I guess that brings the 6 down to a 5.
Yeah.
Let's go with that.
All right. Yuki Tsunoda. He qualified just behind Gasly in 13th, and he finished 17th behind Mazepin. In front of Mazepin and Latifi.
I honestly don't know what happened to Tsunoda. Like, that was like barely any coverage of his race.
Agreed. Same thing here. I saw him on the initial drive where they're on the buses. I saw him interviewed there, and he said something in Japanese, and that's it.
I think, like, yeah, it's interesting.
I didn't see him. I think it's like a 5 for me.
Yeah.
This is more or less a consistent result from what we expect from him.
Yeah. I wish Tsunoda could.
Yeah, I wish he
I wish more out of him, if that makes sense. I kind of like him.
Yeah. Well, I I think he's all right. Well, compared to Gasly, right? Like, he qualified close to Gasly, finished 4 places behind Gasly. I don't know what time it is. It's +1 lap. 5 or 4?
I think 5. Because the issue with a race like this is that you can't figure out if it was like a strategy call that messed them up. Like, I guess because it's such a luck-based race towards the end, especially if it was like halfway through the race, you could be like, oh yeah, he came 16th. Oh yeah, it makes sense. But like with like 3 laps to go, when it changes,
everything changes. Yeah, 100%.
Then it's so hard to like judge people towards the end.
100%. I wish I could go back actually, just on laps and see what. Anyway, but yeah. Whatever. Vettel finished 12th. Collided with Stroll, and Stroll also knocked Gasly around a bit as well in the rain.
Yeah.
He made we'll talk about Stroll in a second, but it was kind of nowhere.
Yeah, he was kind of nowhere this race.
But he qualified 11th. Yeah, and Stroll made it to Q3. I remember he was very upset that he missed it by. What did he miss it by? I think half a second? No, surely it wasn't half a second.
Mm.
That's what it says on my phone.
That sounds about right for his kind of luck.
I remember hearing it was like a few tenths when he was on his team radio. Anyway, whatever. Maybe this is incorrect. Or maybe my memory's gone. Wouldn't be the first time. I reckon his race number we give him.
I guess I expect more out of him, so maybe a 4. I don't know.
All right, I'll go at 4. See you later. Lance Stroll. He made a phenomenal start as like his trademark is. Giovinazzi Stroll's starts are good. Kind of fell off, unfortunately. Finished 11th. Got overtaken. But mind you, the car's hard to drive as well, right? Like it's not as fast as McLaren and Ferrari and maybe Alpha Tauri.
Yeah, I think
maybe it was the 5th or 6th quickest car today.
That's true.
He did better than Vettel, but he did hit his teammate when he should have seen him.
Yeah, like that.
And he did spin Gasly around.
I don't like at least the Gasly one could be kind of put down to like how slippery everything was. That's
same with the Vettel. Yeah, true.
But like the thing with the Vettel one is he was coming back into like why he came left makes no sense to me anyway. Like,
it comes more left so you can carry more speed turning right into the corner.
Yeah, but I would have assumed you would have seen the car. Like it wasn't like
closing up on you. Yeah,
yeah. It wasn't like Vettel was like lunging from the outside. Like
it might have been looking off to the right.
Yeah,
pre-looking look.
Exactly. So who knows?
Yeah, I'll give him the same. 5 or 4.
I guess if you could start at a 5, and then if considering the incidents he caused, maybe like 4.
But he did make a great start, which would bump him up. So
That's
I think
true.
it's a 5.
All right.
I think he did beat Vettel. So I think it's a 5.
Yeah.
All right, Georgie boy, George Russell, 3rd.
Yeah.
Okay, another Belgian.
Where did he end up? I forget where he ended up.
He ended up 10th. So
and Latifi did.
Latifi was 19th. I think Latifi had some bad luck with the weather as well, which we'll talk about in a minute. But it seems like he made a good call. He did well to hold people up. Got a point. Started really high. Solid effort. I reckon it's a good 8.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, it's not like Russell fell off straight away. Like, I expected him to fall off, like, straight away.
Yeah, 100%. Do you think he was as good as Hamilton and Ricciardo and Sainz? We gave them 8.
In that car, yes. Because the thing is, like, if you're comparing teammate performances, Latifi was losing places, if I remember correctly. Or like he was languishing in like 12th or something while Russell was in 3rd, which
I'm checking. He qualified 14th. So they both got to Q2, which doesn't seem like a surprise anymore. It's good. And he didn't set a lap in Q2, which I think there was a problem with his pneumatic system, something within the car, like hydraulic system in the car. I'm pretty sure they had to fill it. I remember hearing that, so kind of not his fault. So maybe he could have done a bit better. Yeah, comparing to the times he did in Q1. Oh no, maybe not. So he did a 48.2 in Q1, and in Q2, everyone else did like a 48 or a 47, and in Q2 they did like a 46.5, 46.6. So do you think he would have improved by 1.5 seconds to make it to Q3? Considering
I don't know, like
Russell did a 48.3 in Q1 and Latifi did a 48.2. So Latifi beat him in Q1.
Yeah, I think like when it comes to like quality, especially when it comes to, like one of those weird sessions where it's like
Yeah,
raining and everything, it's so hard
true.
to like
Judge.
compare teammates because of like track progression. Like
Mm.
I saw
And
people trying to compare like Norris and Ricardo, but like you can't really
no, it's
because
very hard.
it's not like they set their lap times in the same space of time, and like if you're if you as long as you're not the first person across the line in Q3 while it's raining, you have somewhat of an advantage. Like I guess like the last person to cross the line at the end of Q3 during a wet session has a better advantage than anyone else. So
Fair point. In any session, really.
like as long as everything else goes perfect for them, like
Yeah.
they should have a better advantage.
Theoretically.
Yeah.
So
I
he
think
didn't do better than Russell. So
definitely
it's
not.
a 7 or low for me.
I want to say maybe a 6. I guess he
I
didn't.
want to say his number as well, number 6. Sorry, Rosberg's number, which he stole, number 6. I think
yeah,
it's a 6
I think
as
6.
well.
Yeah.
All right, 6 for Latifi. Kimi Raikkonen, freaking 11.
I think he did himself.
So he qualified 16th, beat Giovinazzi by 2 places, and then finished 8th.
Yeah.
Obviously, with the tyre change, and made a good call. That's the experience, probably. His team as well probably made a good call, but both. But that was awesome. Good on you, Kimi. He does like the sport. He's going out with a bang.
Exactly. Well, why is he leaving?
So yeah, I'll give him an 8.
Yeah, I think
freaking great comeback. Well done. Maybe even a 9 because that car's the second worst car or the 9th quickest car to be positive.
But putting him at a 9 would be putting him at the same, I guess, same performance as Norris.
Do you think? But mind you, it's a pretty great car. That's a pretty bad car.
Yeah.
No, 8. It's
8. I think 8. 8's kind of fair.
Let's not overthink it. All right. Antonio Giovinazzi. He finished 16th and he qualified 18th. Poor bastard.
I think a 4.
Yeah, look, he was 1.5 seconds behind Kimi.
Yeah.
No, sorry. Yes, 1.5 seconds behind Kimi in his time for Q1 qualifying. 1.5 seconds behind. Yes, raining. And he did have that spin in qualifying. He nearly took out Leclerc. Did he do well in practice?
I don't think so. I think overall.
I'm just yeah. And he finished 16th.
I think overall, yeah, maybe a 4th or something.
Yeah, I think it's
number 4.
No, that was a pretty bad. Yeah. So what? 99 minus 5 equals 94. Minus 90 equals 4. Done.
Negative 96. Is that what we're going with?
Last two. We'll start with Mazepin. He finished last of the classified runners, but 18th, just in front of Latifi. Only person 2 laps behind. But he made a good call with the tyres. I remember he made a good call with that. Qualifying, he was the slowest. He was slower than Mick Schumacher by 3 seconds. No, 4 seconds. Just under 4 seconds. It's not great. It's a home race.
His start was pretty decent.
Yeah, he made a great start.
Yeah. And Mick, I believe, dropped back, didn't he? He was
Yeah. And considering it's a terrible car, I'll give him a 5.
Yeah. You can't really blame those guys.
You can't expect anything.
Honestly, I'm not the biggest fan of Mazepin, but at the same time,
oh really?
but at the same time, you can't blame the guy for his performance.
Yeah.
You honestly don't know if he's a good driver or not because that that
car is
car
disgusting.
is just a piece of dog shit. Like it's so,
Yeah, what I reckon, I feel terrible for Nick and and Nikita because I think they have the hardest job. They have to drive the slowest car every race, always get lapped, and it's probably the hardest car to drive because it's so unpredictable. Apparently,
yeah.
so they've got a hell of a hard time to drive,
I
and
guess
they're both rookies.
yeah, that's what happens when you decide that you're going to get two rookies in instead of like at least leaving one of your experienced drivers. Like exactly, yeah, it's all about that
Money,
money.
money, 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 money.
But if they
Yeah.
kept like at least one of those drivers today, they'd probably
Kept
be in a better
K-Mag.
place. Well, like
Oh,
at least you need someone to give you feedback about something. You
Yeah.
really think like rookies are able to give good feedback?
I don't know. I'm not a rookie. I'm lower than a rookie. All right. Yeah. So look, I think a 5 for Mazepin. For Mick Schumacher, almost 4 seconds ahead of him of Mazepin in qualifying. That's pretty big.
But the thing is that like a gap like that really does show you that there was an externality for kind of playing somewhere.
Yeah.
Because
true.
that
And it was a wet surface.
Exactly.
I think it's probably going to be a 5 as well from me.
I think that's fair.
I agree.
I think he's. I don't think that if there's a performance this year that can allow me to give a Haas more than 5, I'll be surprised. Like I don't know.
No, look, if a Haas gets a point or a Haas like does really well, it's a 10.
If Haas gets 1 point,
if they're any higher than 15th, and there's maybe 1 or 2 DNFs, so like they actually beat cars on the road, that's brilliant. I'll give them like 20. All right. So to round it up, Hamilton 8, Bottas 6, Verstappen 9, Perez 5, Norris 9, Ricciardo 8, Leclerc 6, Sainz 8, Alonso 7, Ocon 5, Gasly 5, Tsunoda 5, Vettel 4, Stroll 5, Russell 8, Latifi 6, Raikkonen 8, Giovinazzi 4th, and Mick and Maz both 5 apiece. So, yeah, there you go.
Yeah. And next race is Turkey. So that's, I don't know.
Do you think it's going to be like the same surface as last year? Hopefully not. I don't know if they've had cars lapping it on Friday night, putting rubber down. Remember that?
I saw that. And then, I don't know what they thought they were going to achieve with that, but
nuts. Anyway,
if you want to lay rubber down, let like some hoodlum with like a drift car like, into your track. That's the only way you're going to get any rubber down. Like I don't know.
100%. I agree, but well, what can you do? No, it was good. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I think that's it for Russia.